If you are looking for an email list management tutorial, you are in the right place. This video will teach you how to manage your list, including the best practices. This is the third of 5 videos in this complete course. The others can be found below. If it is the first time on our channel, it is great to have you along. Please like and subscribe so that we can send you more great videos. Now there are a few links below. The first one is software that is without doubt the fastest and cheapest way to build an email list. After watching the training, grab the $1 trial. There is also a link for anyone wanting to grab their version of this great course, at a massive 97% discount. Plus there are 3 bonuses, including a website traffic training book. Finally, there is also a link for those small business owners who want to take their digital marketing knowledge to a different level. We have teamed up with the Internet Business School to grab you a massive 50% discount on the most complete course on the market. Plus this is the only one to come with lifetime updates. Now on to the training.
Chapter 3. Email List Management. Introduction to the Chapter 3. List maintenance is one of the most critical subjects in online marketing. Your list is your number one and most basic bottom-level output for your promotions. It's expensive and time-consuming to gather, but it forms one of the most powerful resources and profit potential you have. For this reason, we need to understand precisely how it works. Throughout my time in online marketing, I've tried many different formats. There are apparent differences that allow some methods to come out on top while some fail miserably. Depending on your business, several solutions might be right for you. For this reason, we need to look at the Big 5 to decide which one will make you the most cash. Let's do it. Part 1. Understanding list management. Let's discuss the various methods of list maintenance that have proven successful for many marketers. The upsides and the downsides that come with them, because to be honest with you, there's no way I or any other person or guide can ever tell you what's best in this situation without knowing you, your business, and your plans, and what you're going to use your list for. Please understand that this is no technical report. I won't show you around autoresponders or tell you the best ones to use or how to use them. No, this is far more important and will generally form the shape of your future promotions and, of course, how successful they will become and in what way. So, without further ado, let's talk about the fundamentals and the type of things you should be looking at for a start. During this guide, we'll be looking at how each management technique affects your response rate, customer loyalty, the amount you earn from your list, and what type of promotion it's suited to, such as your products, joint ventures, or purely affiliate marketing. We'll also consider the money you can earn from selling ads to that list, which isn't quite as important as you may think right now. 1. To introduce the top methods of list building that will work alongside your other resources to create the business you desire. 2. To introduce the 5 primary resources that will make you a whole bundle of money and show you how list building ties into all of them, creating a self-sufficient system that builds itself without any input from you. 3. To demonstrate that what you can achieve simply by the words that come out of your mouth far surpasses any list building service that you can pay for. 4. To get over the first and hardest hurdle any online marketer will tell you they came across, and that's getting started. 5. To show you that just 500 people on your list can, in fact, without too much hassle, outperform a purchased index of any kind more than 10 times its size over and over again. 6. To introduce several ways in which you should be building your list at all times. 7. To show that to get the initial list off the ground will take effort on your part, but once it's off the ground and profitable for you, sales will flow, and in turn, the size of your list will snowball. Part 2. Always be truthful. So, let's get started. The number one thing that I need to tell you right now before we even look at these methods is to make 100% sure that the people signing up know what they're getting themselves into. For example, how many e-zines or newsletters have you ever subscribed to only to find out that they're not e-zines and newsletters, just ad lists, which, to be honest, aren't all that bad in particular situations, but we'll be getting to that in a moment. The choice you make now will shape your business far into the future. Still, more importantly, whatever you tell your customers and subscribers they'll be getting will shape your response rate considerably, and that's something we'll want to consider from the very start. So, there we have it. Rule number 1. Never tell your customers they're getting something. Then deny them that. Or send them things that they haven't requested or didn't know about, because not only will that get you into trouble, but it will also affect the loyalty and trust these customers and subscribers have with you, which is so important. We aim to build a targeted and effective list with response rates through the roof depending on what you're promoting. Don't forget this also includes affiliates and may form a large part of your affiliate base, which brings me onto one more point before we look through the 4 majorly used techniques for different types of lists through other marketers. 1. The role of your list should always be at the front of your mind. What's your list there for? Promotion and to allow you to make money from the subscribers selling products that either you've created or affiliate products in your target market, to build joint ventures, and of course, increase your affiliate numbers and quality. But there's one more thing I want you to be aware of. Where do I get all this information? Through ad tracking, accurate, but my list is also an essential part of this. 2. Listen to your list and reap the rewards. I know what to sell to them because they tell me what they want. I know when my websites suck or look plain ugly because I ask them. I know what they're interested in buying, the most effective headlines and language to use when typing out ads concerning my list, who are in effect my target market. So, you see, again, we're promoting not just for profit but learning valuable lessons simultaneously. Your list provides as much valuable data as your advert tracking, no matter how small. This is your key to developing a successful business aimed at your target market and creating a sales system that works, not just in your eyes, but in the eyes of the most influential people to you. And that's your customer, the person who is going to make you a whole lot of money if treated right. So, here's the deal. Ask. Don't feel stupid about sending out emails to your list that aren't adverts, or that might seem like random babble to you. To them, not only will they feel closer to you personally, no matter what technique you use below, which in turn will have them reading more often, but it'll give you significant results about your newest product, your website, or even an idea that you have for a product that you'd like feedback on before you even start. Use your list in this way. Promote learn not to make a profit, and you'll end up with far more cash at the end of the year than if you just assume, guess, or don't bother, which seems to be many marketers out there. Don't be one of them. Get the knowledge you need to succeed from your customers before they even hand you their money. It works wonders for you, your reputation, your expertise, and your pockets. Ask your list if you're not sure. It's so powerful that it'd be a complete waste if not utilized properly. If you're right, great, go for it. If you're wrong, your list will tell you so, great again. You can fix it and pocket the cash at the same time. I can't think of a fairer deal than that. Keep it in mind. Your list is more than a bunch of names. It's a bunch of opinions and essential ones at that. Next up, I will talk to you about successful marketers' 4 main methods to maintain their lists. Each one with different use and purpose, and each one has its ups and downs. Granted, I'm biased towards 2 of them, and I'll tell you why when we get there. But like I said, there's no way for me to tell you how to run your business. All I can do is tell you the most effective ways of going about it and let you decide what's most convenient for you and where you want your business to go. Part 3. The rating system. Let's have a little bit of fun here and introduce a rating system to make things interesting. As we discuss each of these techniques, I'll talk to you about their pros and cons and where they would most likely be used, and you can decide if they'll be relevant to you. I will also give these a starred rating system to show you the most significant stats related to running such a list. Understand that each list will vary, and these star ratings only give you an idea after talking to over 100 successes with their lists in the following categories. The star rating will be 1 to 5. 1. Unsubscription rate. 1 star means a high unsubscription rate per mailing, and 5 stars indicate the best, a low unsubscription rate per mailing. 2. Subscription rate. How easy it is to get people to subscribe to the list using a variety of different methods. The subscription rate at 1 star is the hardest, and at 5 stars is the easiest. 3. Ad income. Ad income is the amount of money that's earned through selling adverts to the list. 1 star is the worst or the least amount of money earned through ad selling, and 5 stars are the best or the most money earned through ad selling. 4. JV circle. This is the ease of using your list as a bargaining tool, for example, in ad swaps or product launches and specific joint venture opportunities. 1 star is the worst, which is also the least valuable in terms of gaining joint ventures, and 5 stars are the best, the most useful that marketers want to get their hands on for joint ventures. 5. Response rate over time. Response rate over time measures how quickly the quality of the list diminishes. For example, when sending endless paid for ads and nothing else, the response rate goes down over time. 1 star is the worst, where response rate over time goes down badly. 5 stars are the best, where people keep reading and even wait for your mail to arrive in their inboxes in the morning. 6. General usefulness. For things such as research, surveys and requesting information, testimonials, etc., 5 stars are the best, easiest to get results from. 1 star is the worst, the hardest to get results from. 7. Maintenance time. The time it takes per issue to put together and send out. 1 star is the worst, taking much time to prepare and send. And 5 stars is the best, the fastest, and the easiest to compose and send out. Important note. It's more to give you some insight into aiming your business in the right direction than to provide you with exact figures and numbers and guaranteed base earning, response rate, income, number of JV prospects, etc. Part 4. Overview of list management. To introduce additional information and ratings on specific list maintenance types and to show you who uses them for what kind of business, when, where, how, and why. To discuss and rate the personal lists containing solely affiliate and advert content. Look at the final potential list types, the ad lists, and demonstrate which direction they will take your business. To wrap up the section and get practical. To have you select a list type and stick to it, whether you've started your list building already or not. Let's pick the one that's going to make the most of your success right now. Part 5. The personal touch. Finally, we have the personal touch. It's always important when you're running your list. Speaking of the personal touch, just 4 months ago, I remember getting a Christmas card from one of the programmers working on something for me. It wasn't anything special, just an e-card sent via email to all his customers, with a generic "Dear Sir, Madam" at the top of it. It was nice, though, and what's nicer for him is I remembered it. Heck, I don't even remember what I had for dinner 2 nights ago, so it did something. I've used his services 4 times since. The same is going to apply to your subscribers. Send them Christmas greetings, for example, and they will remember you. Many people do this already in some form or another, but a little graphic maybe, something fun that isn't there to sell them on something. You remember that programmer and his name, and his company name is proof that it works. I have many more examples of this. It wasn't just a one-off. I've seen others do this too, and I still remember them from last year. How many ads do you remember that landed in your inbox, say, 3 months ago? Be personal but professional, and this will not only be relevant to your business but, more importantly, your reputation and your profits. Part 6. All done. Now it's your turn. Okay, so we've been through 4 main possibilities. I hope that I got across to you the pros and cons, the upsides and downsides, for each example. Remember, They're all categorized loosely here. You can modify and gel one into the other to make hybrids. I hope to have demonstrated, though, a picture of what affects what and why when choosing how to maintain your list. Hopefully, also this will be super easy for you. Which one is the best to choose? The one that is best for you and your business, not just now but in the future. Once you've gone down a path for a list, it's not easy to change. Make the right decision now based on what you have in front of you, and you can sleep easy in the knowledge that your choice will benefit you not just from the day you start building your list, but 1, 2, 5, even 10 years or more into the future. It's your choice. There is no wrong answer. Pick the one that's right for you and your business. 1. Okay, the reviews are done with. All that's left for me is to give you a few tips that should be implemented from the start to avoid problems with administering your list later or having problems with response rates. 2. Another reason for doing this is tracking and testing. We already talked in several vital areas about how essential tracking and testing is using your list as a market research tool. You don't want to be asking about online marketing when your list is based on software sales. For example, no one will have a clue what you're talking about. You'll get insufficient data and a whole bunch of unsubscriptions. 3. Okay, so we've been through 4 main list maintenance possibilities. I hope that I got across to you the pros and cons, the upsides and downsides, for each example. Remember, they're all categorized loosely here. You can modify and gel one into the other to make hybrids. I hope to have demonstrated, though, a picture of what affects what and why when choosing how to maintain your list. Hopefully, this will now be super easy for you. Which one is the best to choose? The one that is best for you and your business, not just now but in the future. Once you've gone down a path for a list, and it's not easy to change. Make the right decision now based on what you have in front of you, and you can sleep easy in the knowledge that your choice will benefit you not just from the day you start building your list, but 1, 2, 5, even 10 years or more into the future. Part 7. List building methods. This is easily one of the more essential sections of the guide. As much as I hate to say one section is more important than the next. On talking to the people on my list and my associates, when I asked them what the most challenging thing was to do for them relating to online marketing when they first got started, it was to build a list. I reckon the reason behind this is that list building is drummed into us as one of the most prominent aspects of online marketing, which is true. Your list will form the basis of your marketing ventures from now and into the future. Unfortunately, while there is an excellent side to this for the people who get it right, it can become quite an expensive affair for those who get it wrong, which I should note I also did when I first started. 1. Quality over quantity. The reason is that there are so many list building services on offer out there. If you head on over to a search engine and do a search for list building methods, you'll be attacked by all sorts of products and services. Most of them, I hate to say it, don't work. The old have a 100K mailing list by the end of the week type of service, which some fell for in our early years. What you'll find, however, is that buying leads and all that fluff aren't so important. Do you know why? I can tell you that with a mere 5,000 people on your list. If you follow this guide here and take it slow and steady, you'll find that you outdo most of the 20K lists out there because your list is of better quality. We don't want a massive list of 50,000 freebie seekers, or 50,000 people that are there and are untargeted, or people that have even been paid or bribed in some way by a lead generation company or some such business to join your list. All you'll find yourself doing is sending emails out to thousands upon thousands of people that never respond to you, at a high cost to you and your pocket, but to the gains of whomever you paid for these leads. I should say at this point that there are people out there who make their living through unsolicited email, numbers over quantity. They pick up servers in other countries that don't have anti-spam laws or are not restrictive in any way and send out millions upon millions of emails, and sure they make money. In my eyes, however, this is not online marketing. It's not ethical, It doesn't build a solid business base for your future, and it gives those of us with legitimate lists a bad name. It just makes our lives harder than they need to be. If this is the kind of info you're looking for, you won't find it here. We're looking at a real business. 2. Getting started. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk to you about is getting started. The number one thing I've seen over the years, from the friends that came and went, and those that didn't make it, and even from those that did in the early days, was that they were put off in the beginning. You know the story and may have experienced or are experiencing this yourself right now. The "I only have 1,000 people on my list" syndrome, where it all isn't quite happening fast enough. Let me put your mind at rest here. Done correctly, with a good solid product and joint venturing and making some new contacts through a single website, a single product not even directly aimed at increasing your list size or quality can put you up to 2, 3, 5, and even 10,000 subscribers within a few months. I've seen it, and I've experienced it. We'll talk more about this in a moment, but first, I want to be sure that you understand that numbers don't matter. So, what if you only have 500 people on your list, when all of those 500 people know you, trust you, know your products, and most of them either bought from you before or see you as more than a random nobody sending them an email? I'd pick that 500-person list over a random low-quality, purchased leads or whatever list consisting of 10,000 people any day. Whatever you do, don't get disheartened by low numbers. Numbers mean nothing. It's how you interact with them and how they respond to you that matters. And on that note, there's something else I want to get out to you right now. If you've done this before, thought about it, or haven't done it yet, listen up, because it's incredible how many people I speak to, asking how their list building is going. They say to me, "Oh yeah, I only had 3, 4, 500 on it, so I ditched it and started again." They weren't responding to me anyway. How to make them react to you is a different report altogether. But please, do not start ditching lists like this to get organized again. 3. Throwing out prospects doesn't get you organized. The bottom line is to stop starting again. If you've done so before, it might be too late to revive your old subscribers without being reported or attacked. If you're thinking about it, don't do it. 500 people is a gold mine on its own, and hey, only 50 more of these, and you're at 25K already. If you have no idea what I'm going on with all this giving up list stuff, great. Take note and fix your organization and your situation before starting anything new, or you might just find yourself in the above position and wasting the last few weeks, or even months, in severe cases of your promotion time and budget. I'm still amazed at how many throw prospects away. 4. Am I building my list by doing this? Next up, this is a great starting block to help you on your way to building your list as one of your primary resources. Am I making my list by doing this? Ask yourself this question every time you carry out a task. You should be asking yourself if what you're doing is helping you build one of your 5 primary resources. If it's not, then you shouldn't be doing it, because it's likely you're wasting your time and your money at the same time. Always think in terms of your list. When you ask affiliates to promote your site, are you gathering the leads that the affiliates send to you for your list? When you're discussing joint ventures, whether they're long-term or short-term, are you thinking about whether they'll benefit your list? Heck, are you increasing your leads even when you're mailing your list, contacting your affiliates, placing an e-zine ad, or dealing with PPC search engines? Is your inventory getting bigger and being packed with quality subscribers? Lead generation trumps immediate profit every single time. Never lose sight of that. I want to show you now that's how the people with established personal lists of their customers are pure gold. You'll want to give them whatever it takes to get access to them, even if it's just an ad or two sent by them on your behalf. Imagine how awesome would it be to be able to wake up in the morning with a new product, put it together, and immediately have an instant and free promotion tool at your disposal where your product reaches not only top affiliates but at the same time people who are willing to part with their cash. If they're not willing to spend on your products, then quite frankly, you shouldn't want them on your list. A way to ensure that the people on your list do part indeed with their cash for people's products is to get your contacts from other private lists through simple joint ventures that allow you to take elements of their list away and add it yours. A simple ad swap, for example. Or the joint venture that sends their list to your product. Follow-up system, or even better, through an endorsement. Joint venturing at its most basic but at its most potent. 5. Professionalism revisited. So, moving on, how seriously do you take building your list of contacts that you can use as a potent bargaining tool and grab free sales whenever you launch a new product? If you've been around for any length of time, it wouldn't surprise me if you've been told list building is more important than making sales, or even the other way around. In some cases, deals are more critical than building your list. The first quote you probably heard from some of the more experienced marketers out there is how building your list is all important and how it's the be-all and end-all of your marketing. This is probably why many people get downhearted and quit, and they believe that because their list isn't growing fast enough, they won't succeed. This is not true. We've got all those other juicy resources to build and complement each other: affiliates, customers, JAVs, long-term customers, and of course, your list. The second quote gives me the giggles. It's typical GeoCities marketer stuff, where someone sets up a free site with pop-ups all over, trying to show us all that they know everything there is to know about marketing. I don't think anyone knows everything there is to know about marketing, anyway. The general trend of these types of sites is to try and persuade you that the people earning significant incomes from marketing isn't telling the truth, or don't know what they're doing. This is where you'll generally be saying that sales are the most important thing a marketer can aim for. Wrong, but I digress. 6. Where your most effective list comes from. The problem with both of the above statements is that while the second is a great conclusion and is incorrect, and the first statement is somewhat true to an extent, it still doesn't give you the whole story. Where do the best parts of your list come from? Leads? Not. Easy ads? Nope. Free subscription boxes? Nope again. It's your customers, the people who buy from you. Think about this: if you've made a sale before, where is that customer now? Are they on your list, or did you let them escape? These are the people that should land on your list before anyone else. The important ones have been bought from you before, and most likely will again if you don't discard them or forget about them in a hurry. So this is where the fun part comes in. You'll notice that everything I talk about links into building the other 4 primary resources along with it, and this is no exception or coincidence. How about making sales and taking money for a subscription system or a website for the simple aim of building your resources, in this case, your list, although probably the other 4 along with it too. Here's what I often see from top marketers, which you could most likely overlook if you haven't bought into these products or got involved before. Take this opportunity to think for a moment. What would it be if you could set up a product with the sole intent of building your resources? At this point, I'd expect replies associated with giving free stuff away, tell-a-friend scripts, and some sort of mass e-book library giveaway like we see all too often nowadays. Boring. 7. The ultimate tried and tested list builder. How about doing something a little out there that everyone seems to miss because they don't get any immediate cash rewards? How about setting up a single sale product or a membership website with the sole intent of building your resources, but not a free one? A profit-based webpage where you will receive no profit, or very little profit comes to that. Sounds strange, huh? On the surface of it, I can see how I'd be getting funny looks and do indeed get funny faces when talking about this. Think for a moment, in any case. Remember again, and we talked about pulling all your resources together in the 5 primary resources that will join together to make you money. I'll take one example here, using an affiliate system as a home base. Up goes your website, up goes your high commission affiliate program, abnormally high, that is, I'm talking 80% and upwards. Then out go your JVs to which you're giving 100% commissions. What's the point, you might ask? Well, while Mr. Joe Nobody is out there with his the site, and from the start trying to make cash by selling stuff people through search engines and e-zines and the like, you've just set up a massive circle of resource building goodness. In this example, people are attracted by your excellent affiliate program. You can go other routes, like very well-made products for a reduced price or some sort of a great offer. But this is the easiest to demonstrate for numbers' sake. Once you have people attracted by your affiliate program, the numbers of affiliates promoting for you come out. And already, you've got people doing the work for you, although granted, you're not getting paid directly. Don't forget that these guys promoting will not only build your customers, your long-term customers, and your list simultaneously, but they've just become your resource themselves, adding to your affiliates that will stay with you and promote your future products. See how you went from a seemingly unprofitable idea that most would throw out the window immediately to a singing, all-dancing resource builder. Cool, huh? Who'd have thought paying people to promote something that you're not making a profit from would be such a powerful method of marketing? Even though it's pretty easy to come up with such a site, something I'd like to touch on here before moving on is your site itself and precisely how you're gathering your contacts, or not picking it seems some prefer, strangely enough. How about those lovely intrusive sticky out things that pop up at you and make a clunky noise when you land on a website? I don't know about you, but I often click off if I see one of them. How about the old dirty pop-ups that attack me when I forget to enable my blockers after downloading an update? They just don't work anymore, and if they're not doing their job, there's absolutely no reason for them to be there. 8. Be careful not to interrupt your sales process. I will say to you is don't interrupt your sales process if it can be helped. This is especially true when you're selling a product to make a profit, and you don't want a couple of off-putting pop-up windows to put your customers off. There's plenty of other ways that this can be done. 9. Maximizing subscriptions without losing sales. There's plenty of ideas out there, such as the in-a-hurry system we talked about earlier, where you have a separate subscription for either at the top of the page and preferably down the side of the sales letter that offers people the chance to subscribe to your list, either through conventional means, providing something for the sign-up, or even through pop-under, which although I'm not a fan of, they're better than pop-ups that detract from your sales letter. You can also offer your visitors the chance to receive the sales letter in a split format through follow-up if they don't particularly have the time to read the whole thing straight up. Any of these methods beats the conventional since you're not interrupting the sales process. If you feel you're losing subscribers, you can always create a purely for resource building, as we mentioned above. The only time I'd consider sales to be more critical than plopping a great dirty subscription box in front of your visitors and potential subscribers, and this is when you're selling a high-ticket item. I'm talking $250 upwards because, to be honest, if you're selling something at this price, the people seeing the product should already have you on their trusted list, and you should already have them on one of your lists or as part of your resources, whether it be your affiliates, customers, long-term customers, your mailing list, or even your joint venture prospects. 10. Nonprofit resource building. Moving on from this and developing the nonprofit resource building ideas, there's another way to look at this too. The first of two being to sacrifice a profit for resource building. Now ideally, you'll want to build all your resources at the same time. However, when this is not possible through a specific circumstance, the joint venture, for example, if you get the choice of sales over resources, don't do it. Resources over sales every time, unless you've set out to sell a high-ticket item. Remember, as we talked about earlier, and I'm going to say repeatedly until every person reading this dream about it, where do the most potent resources lie? JVs, other people's lists, people that have already spent money and are willing to pay more, the best affiliates, the best buyers, the best customers, all on other people's lists already. You do not need to go searching for new blood when others have done the work for you. Scored a JV with a good list owner. Nice job. You better make sure you gather them as leads over sales because you may not get another chance to sink your teeth into this particular valuable goldmine. The second option relating to sacrificing profit for resources is through e-zine ads. Oh yes, I have no doubt they still work, and there's plenty of good well-read publications out there that aren't there just to provide another source of advertising for us all. Subscribe to a few and see what they're about before even thinking about sending ads to them. When you know your target market is contained within, get out there and start hitting the e-zines through paid solo ads, generally, the only ones that seem to work, with the sole intention of building your list. I've seen some great examples of people selling a product but placing a kind of entry page, a taster if you will, that asks for information before they can read your sales letter. While this doesn't immediately interrupt a sales process already in motion, and it can hurt profits if you're not selling a lower-priced item, again with the intention of building resources, and if you're not one heck of a copywriter that can persuade people to move on and fill in details with the minimal of information about you, get practicing and tracking or stick with alternative less risky methods. On a random note, I saw a website the other day that featured these entry pages but with no lead generation forms. What's worse is that the website owner's affiliates are promoting these pages. So much scope and potential wasted through a minor oversight. Don't do it. 11. A few final notes. Lastly, a few quick notes on how not to do things and some questionable activities could be better used. First up is the free stuff for your subscription. Does it work? Yeah, it does put simply. Remember, though, quality over quantity. We'd rather have a 10K JV from a private list than a shoddy 100K from a dodgy ad list or something like that. Don't give away too much. I see people giving away a free ebook library of 100 ebooks written in the early 1990s. I can tell you now that if anyone did subscribe to get these gifts, it was the only reason. I sure don't want a list of a million freebie seekers, and I'm guessing neither do you. If you're giving it away, make sure it's not shoddy, but make sure it's not worth hundreds of dollars too. Okay. Well, that's all of it for now. We just dealt with the lead generation specific areas here, but as you can see, it's not the easiest thing to do when all of the top 5 resources are tied into one and another. Make sure to remember this above all else. Chapter 3 Summary 1. List building is another subject that is drummed into us repeatedly through many different products and services, and rightly so. It is one of the 5 most important aspects that will decide the fate of your business. 2. Most list building services. If you haven't spent a whole bundle of cash on them already, I have to say, they are useless and will cost you more than the net you or even get you into trouble. The old 100K mailing list by the end of the week thing, which I know myself and many others fell for during our early days, just do not work full stop. 3. We don't want to get you a list of 50,000 freebie seekers or 100,000 that have been paid a small sum to subscribe. That's not at all what we're after. We're aiming for a highly targeted, highly responsive list that will respond to your offers again and again. 4. I should say that people make their living through spam and unsolicited email, numbers over quantity. They pick up servers in other countries that don't have anti-spam laws or aren't restrictive in any way and send out millions upon millions of emails, and sure they make money. 5. In my eyes, however, this is not online marketing. It's not ethical, it doesn't build a solid business base for your future, and it gives those of us with legitimate lists a lousy name and just makes our lives harder than they need to be. If this is the kind of info you're looking for, you won't find it here. We're looking at a real business. 6. List building, however, done correctly, with a solid product at its base, using the knowledge you've been taught thus far can, however, without a doubt, put you up 2, 3, 5, or even 10,000 subscribers in a few short months, so don't fret. It's not easy by any means, but it sure isn't hard either. 7. Before we go further, I want to assure you again that numbers don't matter. So, what if you only have 500 or 1,000 subscribers? If they trust you, know you and your products, and have either bought from you before or knowingly subscribed being interested in what you have to offer, I'd much rather have this list than a purchased list of low-quality leads 10 times the size. 8. And on that note, there's something else I want to get out to you right now. If you've done this before, or have thought about doing it, or haven't done it yet, listen up, because it's incredible how many people I speak to and on asking how their list building is going. They say to me, "Oh yeah, I only had 3, 4, 500 on it, so I ditched it and started again." They weren't responding to me anyway. Making them react to you is a different report altogether, but please, do not start ditching lists like this to get organized again. Stop starting again. 9. Always think in terms of your list. There are many different types of lists: standard ones for promotion, inventories packed with affiliates or long-term customers that get that something a little extra unique, but you should always be building a list of some type. 10. If people are landing on your site, talking to you, reading your stuff, or buying your products, they don't have a chance to jump on one of your lists, and you might as well be throwing money down the drain because you're losing quality subscribers imperative for future promotion and the growth of your business. 11. How awesome would it be to be able to wake up in the morning with a new product, put it together, and immediately have an instant and free promotion tool at your disposal where your product reaches not only top affiliates but at the same time people who are willing to part with their cash. This is our aim. 12. If they're not willing to spend on your products, then quite frankly, you shouldn't want them on your list. A way to ensure that the people on your list do part indeed with their cash is to get your contacts from other people's private lists through simple joint ventures that allows you to take elements of their list away and add it yours through a simple ad swap, or joint venture that sends their list to your product follow-up system. Joint venturing at its most basic but at its most potent. 13. A question I see asked over and over again is, are sales more important than list building? Some say no, but they miss the point entirely. Sales are list building. The people that buy your stuff are the most important lists you'll ever have. The list of people who have purchased from me before is almost 10 times as likely to buy from me again than to have a new customer come along and buy my stuff. This is where an essential list of all should be coming from. 14. If you could set up a product with the sole intent of building your resources, what would it be? At this point, I'd expect replies associated with giving free stuff away and telling a friend scripts and some sort of mass ebook library giveaway like we see all too often nowadays. Boring. 15. How about doing something a little out there that everyone seems to miss because they don't get any immediate cash rewards? How about setting up a single sale product or a membership website with the sole intent of building your resources, but not a free one? A profit-based webpage where you will receive no profit, or very little profit comes to that. Sounds strange, huh? On the surface of it, I can see how I'd be getting funny looks and do indeed get funny faces when talking about this. Think for a moment, in any case. 16. Remember how we talked about pulling all your resources together in the 5 primary resources that will join together to make you money. I'll take one example here, using an affiliate system as a home base. Up goes your website, up goes your high commission affiliate program, abnormally high that is, I'm talking 80% and upwards. Then out go your JVs to which you're giving 100% commissions. What's the point, you might ask? Well, while Mr. Joe Nobody is out there with his site, and from the start trying to make cash by selling stuff people through search engines and e-zines and the like, you've just set up a massive circle of resource building goodness. 17. While everyone was cramming in the front door at the same time, you've sneaked around the back and got in without a queue. It was smoother and far less work. 18. Your unique affiliate attracts people to program. In this example, you can go other routes, like very well-made products for a reduced price or some sort of great offer. But this is the easiest to demonstrate for numbers' sake. Once you have people attracted by your affiliate program, the number of affiliates promoting for you will increase. And already, you've got people doing the work for you, although granted, you're not getting paid directly. Don't forget that these guys promoting will not only build your customers, your long-term customers, and your list simultaneously, but they've just become your resource themselves, adding to your affiliates that will stay with you and promote your future products. 19. See how you went from a seemingly unprofitable idea that most would throw out the window immediately to a singing all-dancing resource builder. Cool, huh? Who'd have thought paying people to promote something that you're not making a profit from would be such a powerful method of marketing? 20. Before we move on, I'd like to talk to you about your contact gathering and how you're doing it. How about those lovely stickies out pop-ups that attack you now and then? They do still work, but be careful where you put them. 21. We need to avoid interrupting the sales process, especially when you're looking at selling a high-ticket item. There's a load of ideas out there about how to do this. The "in a rush" system allows you to simply offer people the chance on your side or the top navigation bar to receive the sales letter and info about your product through subscribing. 22. How about integrating list building into your sales letter? If you can get them reading in the first place, it's a lot more likely they'll continue, even if they have to input some detail to get their hands on some sensitive information sent directly to their inbox. I like to use additional proof here, such as bank statements and sales figures from my business. Even entry pages that are designed solely for lead generation as an entry to your lower ticket items. There are plenty of ideas to be had. Use them as an alternative to pop-ups if you can, and always be on the lookout for new ideas. 23. Any of these methods beat the conventional since you're not interrupting the sales process. If you feel you're losing subscribers, you can always create a purely for resource building, as we mentioned above. The only time I'd consider sales to be more critical than plopping a dirty great subscription box in front of your subscribers, and this is when you're selling a high-ticket item. I'm talking $250 upwards because, to be honest, if you're selling something at this price, the people seeing the product should already have you on their trusted list, and you should already have them on one of your lists or as part of your resources, whether it be your affiliates, customers, long-term customers, your mailing list, or even your joint venture prospects. 24. Joint ventures. This is where a lot of your powerful resources will come from. Customers that are pre-qualified, targeted, have bought or promoted in the past. The best buyers, the best affiliates, they're all already out there on marketers' private lists. Scored a JV with a good list owner. Nice job. You better make sure you gather them as leads over sales because you may not get another chance to sink your teeth into this valuable goldmine. 25. Don't feel lost just because you've been given a choice. You're not losing out by using any one of them. They're all as effective as each other at fulfilling their roles.